You see, the thing with being a farmer is that oftentimes you're the most disrespected member of the team. In fact, oftentimes being called a farmbot is used as an insult. You see someone with a bad AK spray, boom, call him a farmbot. But being the most famous farmbot in all of console Rust, I felt like it was my job to change that. So over the week that I was on the server, I decided I was going to farm up enough to raid one of these big bases, but not an offline. I wanted to online them. So join me for the solo farm run. Since I'd already gotten my 1x2 up, all I needed now was some low grade so I could get some furnaces going. And since I live so far from outposts, I was just going to start. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know where he was at, but that dude just took my fucking head off. Jesus. Now I have no idea why you would have an L9 and actually come through. You didn't even select all on the loot. You picked through it and you still took my bow and my animal fat? Bro. After I crafted another bow, I found some of the most aggressive deer I've ever seen in this game. The bears were easier to kill than these deer, I swear. And I guess this is that other deer's duo because he just started charging me out of nowhere, dude. I didn't even shoot him yet. Maybe in one of my most embarrassing moments on console Rust, this deer almost freaking floored me. And you can hear it in the background that the scientist is shooting at someone. This went on for some time, so I finally went over to investigate it after I farmed up some more animals. I'm just saying, in comparison, this bear was so much easier. I had been in the area for like 30 minutes and the scientist had been shooting at this guy for the entirety of that time. Jesus Christ, he looked like a vague member that was going legit. And I watched this for way too long. This went on for some time. I edited it down to the point to where you guys see it, but I watched this for a little while. I know the video started off slow, but once I get these furnaces, I actually start moving up pretty quick. And I AFK launch a lot in this video, but I didn't want to put it in every single time. But just to give you an idea of the kind of luck I was having on launch site, dude, I was killing it. That was 2 C4. And I didn't want to lose my 2 precious C4, so I upgraded the base some. That's as much as I'm going to upgrade it, because I'm not making no big base. Also, I intentionally built near to launch site so that way I could run red card a lot. And also, I wanted to take Bradley quite a bit. I never took it with HVs, I only took it with grenades. And I was hoping that someone would try to counter, but even at 80 pop, no one showed up. I don't know if they thought it was a big group taking it, but it was definitely just a solo farm bot. Also, I didn't want to put a bunch of Brad takes in this video to try to save y'all on some time, but I'll tell you what, I got some of the worst crates possible. Legitimately, this military crate with a rocket launcher I was more excited about than what I got in that Brad take. Now on my way back from buying grenades, look, another C4, something I didn't get from Bradley. This is going to be the only Brad take that I put in this video, but again, I am exclusively with grenades. While I was excited to get an M2, I'd really rather have gotten Boom, but later in that day, someone else had taken Brad, so I decided to try to counter it. And just to remind you, pretty much everybody on here is part of a big group. Like I said, there's like, at this point in the wipe, there's like 5 or 6 big groups that live around launch and outposts, which is all on the bottom right of the map. And I understand I played like a rat here, but I was trying to see how many people were actually at the Brad take, because they had been coming as like a 4-man and stuff, and I didn't want to get rolled like that, because I was solo. And to my surprise, I only saw one person. He ended up being part of a village, but he was trying to take Bradley by himself. Kind of figured he was going to run straight through the building, so I kind of tried to cut him off on the other side. And unfortunately for me, I got more rockets shot at me this wipe than I did bullets. These kids just love to PvP with rockets, and it's not just one kid or one group. It's like every single group. And you might be thinking, wow, the crates that that kid had sucked. Well, he ended up messaging me to a party after this, but right here in this right corner, when he ran through these bushes, he said he dropped us two double M, or he had like double M2 crates. Which would explain a lot, because I even went back to check Bradley. I was like, that can't be all the crates, because it was legitimately like just attachments and whatnot. But not too far after that, I heard a raid going on, and it was definitely an offline because it was like 4 in the morning. But it was still like 40 or 50 pop at this time, and these kids were like just trying to boom this place. And I knew that door that I'm looking at right there, that double door, was theirs. So I was hoping to come up on some boom by killing them when they opened the door, but there was one kid actually outside, so when he was going back in, I was like, perfect. And I'm not gonna lie, when I picked up his AK, man, my head was big. I was feeling so good about myself. I was like, yeah, maybe I can make a play here, right? The door's still open. I heard the door pop, and I'm telling you, the kids on this server love their rocket PvP. I don't know what it is. And he didn't even kill me with an HV. That was an actual rocket. But the kid that I countered at Bradley told me that the guys that were offlining that base, you know, that rocket PvP'd me, they lived in this one. But I needed confirmation because I didn't want him to just sick my wrath onto any random group that he didn't get along with. And then I saw one running back to that base. I'm assuming to do a depot run, but I needed to see his name just to confirm this is exactly where they lived. I'm not gonna lie, when I threw that nade, bro, I was feeling like Kobe. But when I got up on the body, I confirmed, yeah, he just came out of that base and that was the name. So by the end of tomorrow, I'll be inside that base. Now, I only have half the boom on me, and I knew by myself I wasn't going to be able to online these guys because I wanted to online the offliners. I thought it'd be fun. So I went back to my old reliable. I got some of NSK on, and we were going to online these kids. I got me and NSK Money. We're going to be booming and PvPing. I got Khalifa's going to try to hold down the roof, and then have Boris holding down the raid base. And Mulah's just Money's girlfriend. She made the doors for the raid base. The raid base down in a turret facing away from the raid because I wanted to be able to PvP with these kids. And I checked the player list and I confirmed at least some of them were on, so that way they could message their teammates. And this was not late at night. This was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's no reason that they, you know... You know the raid is over once I shout out my TikTok and my YouTube on your vending machines. But this kid, before the raid was even over, tried to say it was offline, even though you could clearly see him defending. He also said that he had stashed all of his loot, and that's why they were so poor. We saw this base at the top of the hill, and we decided that might be the stash base. Let's raid it. I was heartbroken because it wasn't any of the kids that we were trying to raid. It was just him who caught a stray. So I left a note on his body telling him to follow the TikTok, and we reverse raided him. I left all the loot that we got from the first raid in his base. But in order to seal up his base so no one would come and take all the loot that was in there, we had to raid into the TC and destroy TC so that way we could seal. And wow, what an appropriate time to remind you, if you ain't already following the TikTok and the YouTube, I definitely would do it. You watch this whole video, so you know. It's got to be some kind of good. And while we're doing shout outs, shout out to NSK Money, NSK Boards, Khalifa, NSK Moolah for hopping on and helping me out with that raid. I couldn't have done without you guys. We actually had a couple of counters that they took care of, and I didn't get footage of, so you guys didn't get to see it. But with this guy's base all sealed up and my time on the server up, that's it. I'm gonna be making more videos formatted like this one, where it's like, you know, kind of like a movie, but instead of an hour worth of like farming montages and building a base montages, you guys get actual action, and it's not an hour long. They're only 15 minutes. So if you guys please could follow the video so that way I'm motivated to make some more, I'd appreciate it, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later. Bye.